Welcome to another edition of Locally on the Links. I'm Rich Roth. My guest today is the director of golf up at Wintergreen Resort, Geoff Redgrave, kind enough to join me again today. Geoff, trying to get a read on this weather, man. It's really cold and snowy and icy, and then all of a sudden it's 80 and beautiful, and then we're getting snow again. I mean, warm weather. It's got to be coming, and it's got to be here to stay sooner rather than later, right?
Hey, Rich. Yeah, I think it is. I think a day or two last week I was in shorts, but I don't remember. Once this cold weather blew in, it became winter again. I had to get all the winter stuff back out. Our golfers the same way. They were coming out in droves, and now we think we've got 8 or 10 golfers out there today. But I think today's the last day of cold weather. I think we start to kind of move in the right direction for golf starting tomorrow. So come on back out. The Stoney Creek's looking good. I saw a tinge of green in some of the fairways a few days ago. Now I don't know if it's still out there. I'm going to find out, but yeah, it's coming. So golf season's right. I think it's here.
And
today.
And you guys have a couple different types of grass down there at Stoney Creek, right? Bermuda on Shamokin and Monacan, but Tuckahoe's got that zoysia. So, I mean, more dormant in the winter, but starting to green up and start growing. And, when you're playing on that this time of year, you got to treat it a little bit differently, right?
Well, the zoysia will give you a nice kind of what I call kind of a nice little fluffy lie. 12 months out of the year, it's just discolored right now, but it's starting. I saw some green tinging in there, and then the Bermuda is still hasn't woken up yet. That's just that lie presents a little bit more of a tighter lie this time of year, Rich. And so you've got to, I always feel like you got to kind of put the ball back in your stance for your irons and hit almost like semi little punch shots until that grass kind of fills in and gets green. But it's okay. We're playing golf. We've cut the greens a little bit already, a couple times. So grass is growing on the greens, and yeah, it's time. It's time to get going.
Wonderful time of year, for golf. We just had the Players Championship, and that's always a big deal. And, the Masters is coming up here real quickly, and then, Masters, and then PGA, and, all kinds of fun stuff. So just as people are kind of getting the opportunity to get back out there and play, there's some just great golf on TV as well. And we're seeing a lot of the same names, but some new names as well emerging on the PGA Tour.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, just kind of before we talked about the players, we watched a little bit of the Florida swing. We watched, of course, PGA National, where I spent a few years down there teaching. So it's always fun to watch that tournament. Shane Lowry had it kind of in his hands, and then it was taken away from him from the bear trap. If you saw any of that, and was given to a guy who's won a couple times on tour, but kind of took it from Lowry. So Echeverry, I think was his last name, Rich. And then the kids at Bay Hill. I mean. It's kind of a who's who a little bit, but there's still a lot of new names and a lot of talent out there, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and some of the bigger names, right, as we approach Augusta. Rory, obviously, with some back issues heading into Sawgrass. Some questions about him. Will he be ready? Will his back hold up? And then, I'm seeing stuff on social media with pictures of Tiger's private jet at Augusta, and rumors circulating as to whether or not he's going to play there, and will he play on the senior tour? So, a lot of questions about some of the biggest names in golf as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. I saw Tiger a little bit, and I just see him at TGL,
Right.
Coaching there. I don't know how he really feels about playing the seniors, the tour. I don't know, the Champions Tour, but it would be great. But I don't think that he's again, it's been a while. He's probably got had some more back issues. Don't know how ready he would be for Augusta, but he's surprised us before. We'll have to see what happens. But the Players Championship was fantastic. I hope you got a chance to watch some of that.
Yeah, I mean that's always a great tournament to watch, right? I mean, everybody knows number 17, right, the Island Green, but I forget which golfer was made the comment, but he was asked about playing down there at Sawgrass, and he goes, "Yeah, it's great. Every hole has 6 different ways for you to make a 6." Just talking about how difficult that golf course is, and of course, number 17, the famous Island Green, the thing most people remember, but. I mean, an unbelievable field, kind of has that fifth major type of feel. And, whoever wins it, obviously that's a big deal and a feather in their cap.
Oh, for sure. And the way Cameron Young got it done, he birdied 17 to catch Fitzpatrick and then one on 18 with that the driver he hit. I think they said it was the best, longest driver that's been out there since the tournament started. I think it's he hit 375 and had a little flip iron in and made par and won the tournament. It looked like that driver looked like he was playing on a Wednesday afternoon in a little $2 Nassau with the guys. He didn't just stepped up and ripped it. And because that water. Boy, that water looks like the ocean out there on the left side if you're especially coming down the stretch like he did. But Fitzpatrick was right there. Schauffele played well. Robert McIntyre. All these couple of good European Tour players. And it was fun. Aberg, it's Oberg, I guess is the way it pronounces. He kind of had it in the bag for most of the tournament, but just kind of got quick with a couple swings and, like you said, easy doubles out there, and that's what happened to him.
And that's kind of what we love as golf fans, right? Is seeing a lot of the biggest names. It's nice when young guys get into the mix and we kind of get to know them a little bit. But as we approach Augusta, that's kind of what we always want, right? Is the who's who on the leaderboard, on that final round on Sunday, and talked a little bit about Rory and his back issues, but you've got Scotty and, Cam Young's one of those younger players who's really making a name for himself. And, we saw a lot of these guys in the Ryder Cup as well, when you talk about the Euros and, the Americans. And, that's what we're hoping for, is just a loaded leaderboard, on Sunday at Augusta. You have any favorites that you're kind of leaning towards at this point?
Well, we just got past the Players, and so I guess we've got to look into the Masters time. I mean, you can't ever take Scheffler off your list. Although, my gosh, he barely made the cut here down at Sawgrass, and played some decent golf on the weekend, and I think finished tied for 22nd. I think is what I'm seeing. But every time I watched him, Rich, in the first couple of rounds, I mean, the clubs, he'd make a swing and the club kind of be flying out of his hands in disgust. And so, I'm not really sure what's going on, because it's he's done that a little bit a couple of times this year. He's kind of, had the gas down, on the weekend, but struggling, to get there, to get to the weekend. So we'll see what's going on. Great to see Justin Thomas play well at the Players after his surgery. So I've always liked Justin Thomas. He'd be probably one of my Augusta favorites. I'd like to see him win that, but who knows? I mean, gosh, it's Koepka's starting to play well. He's starting to putt well. So it'll be interesting. And again, I just don't know what Tiger's going to do. I know there's always rumors about what's going on for his status, but I don't know if he's quite ready for that, or maybe it's past. He's kind of past his time at Augusta, but again, you can't even put everything past him. Who knows what'll happen? I don't think he would contend, but it'd be nice to see him play.
Yeah, it sure would. And and I kind of agree with you on what you were talking about the Champions Tour, and then you see the honorary guys, right, as they get older at Augusta, and They go out there even though they can't really contend. And, Tiger's deal was always, if I'm out there, I think I can win. And you
Yeah.
just wonder if that mindset's going to change it all. I know, so many people would love to see him out there playing just to kind of spark all those memories. But you wonder if he's that guy who, I don't want to play on the Champions Tour. I just want to play against the best of the best. And, if,
Yeah.
so you're right. It's going to be really interesting to see how that all evolves for him moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I know he's turned 50, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's eligible. Yep.
He's eligible to kind of move up a tee. So, like we all tend to, but yeah, I just don't know if the drive would be there. I still don't think he's healthy enough for the grind of any of the tours, although I think he could probably on the Champions Tour probably ride in a golf cart. Again, I don't know, but it just, I don't know. I don't know about you, but it doesn't seem like if Tiger and the Champions Tour, if that's where he's playing, it just doesn't seem the same, But yeah, that's unfortunately where it's going if he does play, because he can't, his body won't allow him to kind of hit it the way he used to and compete, I think, with the young guys. I mean, all these guys are in their 20s, and man, they're just blitzing it out there, and they're hungry, and it's a different game out there.
Yeah.
I mean, names that we haven't even seen that are showing up, Smotherman, and there's a neat, not to ramble a little bit, but there was a good story about a Canadian golfer who finished tied for fifth, Yeleman Menaraju. He finished 66, 68 on the weekend, struggled a little bit, finally got his card, made $925,000, which was the most, like $100,000 more that he made his entire professional career playing on the some of the other tours.
Yeah.
But it was great, a great little weekend that he had, and a great tournament for him. So, I mean, people just showing up out of the woodwork that you've never even heard of. So, it's real, and it's out there.
Awesome. Talking with Geoff Redgrave, the director of golf up at Wintergreen. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll talk about some of the cool stuff going on up at Wintergreen this year for the golf season. Plus, we'll get some tips from Geoff on easing into the season and ways to really get your game ready and play in the spring conditions, as well as some different ideas if you're looking to upgrade some of the clubs in your bag. All that and more when we return right here on Locally on the Links. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Locally on the Links. My guest is the director of golf up at Wintergreen. 27 beautiful holes down in the valley at Stoney Creek, and not quite open yet, but 18 scenic, beautiful holes up on top of the mountain at Devil's Knob. Geoff Redgrave is the director of golf up there, and he joins me now on Locally on the Links for the second half of the show. And Geoff, we'll talk about some equipment, and for people looking to upgrade, we'll dive into some different ideas there and playing in the spring. But let's talk a little bit about Wintergreen. You touched on it earlier. The grass is starting to green up down below. Devil's Knob not quite open yet. And once again, Devil's Knob again this year is private, but still, if you're staying at the resort, an opportunity to play. And maybe if you've got a little bit larger group, you could sneak on up there again.
Oh, for sure, Rich. And absolutely. Probably the most popular package that we have at the resort is our unlimited golf package, and if you want to come up and spend a couple nights up here with us on top of the resort, you can play Devil's Knob, which is usually there just for resort guests and members. It's an exclusive property. It's a great golf course. If you haven't played it, come on up. But you can play that on the unlimited package, as well as Stoney Creek. you play till you drop, and it's a real popular package, and we'll be doing that this year. And again, I've got also a Stoney Creek four-play golf card, which is I think we're going to roll it out about $2.99 in the middle of April, and run it into May before we drive it up a little bit more in price. But it's a great it's basically a four-play punch card that can be used at any time. Great when the rates do go up later on in the season, and even on the weekends. There's no blackout dates for you to play. You can't play devil's knob on it, but it's certainly available for Stoney Creek. And you can see all these on our website as we get rolling here for the season. But we have options. We've got we got discounted rates on certain days. Just keep an eye on the website for what we're doing. And I don't know if you want me to kind of segue into demo days or anything else, Rich. I'll kind of let you maybe.
Yeah, no, that works. I mean, that punch card though that you were talking about, the 4-pack at Stoney Creek. I mean, that's almost like an opportunity to, you just pay in advance, but you buy 3 and you get the 4th free, sort of type of deal, right?
Well, kind of. I mean, it's just again, when we go to peak season rates, and you're looking at playing golf for $109 on typical Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah.
You get your punch card out, and it's a little bit cheaper. There's a nice little break for that, and you can use it.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I mean, over $100, and you play 4 times, that's $400. You buy it for $299. Man, you're saving that's a great savings and a great opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. And you get all year, to use it too. So it's a neat product to jump on. And you'll go through 4 of them quickly, for sure. And so it's keep an eye out for it, because it's a good value early in the season.
And you were talking about demo days, and you're right. That's a great segue into, spring golf, and people are kind of dusting off their clubs and they're looking at them going, man, I'm ready for something new. And I'm sure people will just buy online or buy off the rack, but these demo days are really cool because it's an opportunity to go out there and not just try the newest equipment, but really get fitted for the club that's right for you. And the way the technology is changing, that's awfully important, right? To have the right shaft and the right head and the right loft and all those different things, because everybody's swing is so different.
Absolutely. And take advantage of the demo days. We've got, I'm looking at, we got 2 demo days in April with Callaway and Titleist. We've got a demo day with Cobra, all here down at Stoney Creek. And if you're shopping for a new set of irons, or you're shopping for a driver, come on out, call me and I'll get you on a list, and you could come out and utilize the professionalism and the expertise of our fitters and TrackMan, get some numbers and see which works out best for you. And I don't need to plug Cobra, although I'm a staff professional with them. But I love the Future Fit 33 setup that the driver has with Cobra that no other company has. You've always been able, Rich, to change the loft of your driver. You just take your little tool out and you switch it up. But the Cobra driver's got a lie angle change, which is huge. You can move the club up or down. If you're a slicer, you can make it more upright. If you're a hooker, you can make it more flat. All with that loft change as well. 33 different settings. It's like cheating, and it's legal.
Boy, Geoff, this is a family show. I didn't have you pegged on my bingo card for talking about hookers today.
Those that hit it left.
Fair enough. But, you bring up the demo days, and you have different ones for each club, but or each club manufacturer, I guess I should say. But, I know we have a lot of people who have always played this, or they've always played, TaylorMades with woods and Callaways for irons. But, is it good for people to come to different days to try different clubs? Because I mean, it seems to me like you might find something that you like a little bit better than what you've been playing all the time.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier before the segment, in that golfers tend to be loyalists. In other words, if they grew up playing Titleist or Callaway or Ping, or TaylorMade, they've always stayed towards that. And I think the technology is so good with all the big equipment companies that you really should branch out a little bit, and try something different. And you don't need to have everything in there to be the same. You could have the Titleist Vokey wedges or the Scotty Cameron putter. You could have the Cobra, the driver. You could have the Callaway driver. It doesn't matter, or the irons. It doesn't matter what you have in there as long as you got 14 clubs to play with. And so, if you're one of those that likes to kind of experiment a little bit, those demo days are a lot of fun, and you're going to get the advice that you're looking for. Because the numbers don't lie. TrackMan the numbers don't lie. It'll tell you exactly what you're doing with the golf club, and if you're looking for a little bit more distance or you're looking for a little bit more accuracy, then my goodness, come on out and check out some of these demo days. There's no strings attached. You get what the club fitter says you should probably get is your best recommendation, and then you can shop around a little bit. We're okay with that, but you really should see what technology's out there. Don't just go into Dick's Sporting Goods and pull something that looks good off the rack. That's not the way to do it. There's just too much information and technology out there to do it the right way, and a demo day and a club fitting is the right way to do it. I don't care what your level is. That's the right way to do it.
Geoff, you had mentioned, and again, we're talking with Geoff Redgrave of Wintergreen Resort. You had mentioned the new technology with the Cobra clubs. Is there any other hot club out there with some new technology there's a lot of buzz around that you would recommend people, come to that specific demo day?
Well, that's a good question. There always seems to be, a buzz club that kind of is like, okay, well, everybody's got to try this, everybody's got to have this. And I think I mentioned earlier about the zero torque putters that are out there.
Yeah.
But again, if it was really, really hot, then they'd all be out there on tour. And I see a lot of spider putters out there on tour. So I don't see it's chock full of the zero torque putters, but that seems to be the hot one these days. And
Okay.
Of course, with wedges, you can get fit for wedges, Rich, for different bounces and different. If you play a golf course that's got tighter lies or more fluffy lies, then you can get options at the bottom of those wedges with the bounce and the sole, the grinding of what they do, to kind of custom fit your wedges. It's like cheating, but you got to get fit. You just don't, the old days are over with just running into say, I'm just going to buy me some clubs at I hate to kind of pick on Dick's, but, get some advice. That's what we're here for as golf professionals and club fitters. We're here to help you. There's a lot of it out there. So again, these demo days, you don't have to come to ours, but find one, because the springtime's the best time for those to be around this. Best time to go shopping.
And Geoff, you had mentioned the different deals. You have the 4-pack, the unlimited golf plan. That's all on your website. Demo days up there too. So if people want to check that out and either register online or whatever, they can do that at wintergreenresort.com.
They can go onto our golf calendar, and you can see all the events that we've got up there. You can see the demo days, but you can always call me or email me, gredgrave@wintergreenresort.com, and if you're interested, we can certainly get you on a roster to come on out for any one of these demo days.
Sounds great, Geoff. A pleasure as always. Thank you, man. Excited for the warm weather.
Us too. Thanks, Rich. See you soon.